Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video. Uh, I'm going to do videos basically discussing movies and issues surrounding them. And my first one, this is going to be my first one. It's basically going to be called The Death of the MCU. People used to go to the theaters to escape, get away from all the politics and crap going on in the world. They used to go to the theaters to be comfortable, to get away from troubles at home, to get away from things like their kids or relationship trouble, the normal. So, now we have a totally different situation. But before I get into that, I'm going to give the example of the MCU. Back in 2008, we had Iron Man. Great movie. And it started off a chain of movies that would later develop into the Infinity Saga, with the Infinity Gauntlet, the Stones, Thanos, and whatnot. And, they had a very good formula going. They didn't do activism, they didn't do any political correctness stuff, and whatnot. But then, circa 2017, 18, and 19, the Captain Marvel controversy. Now, before Brie Larson, the character who plays, or the actress who plays Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, opened her mouth, I was very excited for Captain Marvel. I had heard of her over, or from the Marvel's Avengers Alliance game on Facebook, and played them when Played 'em was around. It's no longer. She could absorb infinite or nigh infinite amounts of energy and whatnot, and she was a badass. I didn't pay much attention to the comics. After I got around 13 years old, I stopped paying attention to the comics. I had way more things going on at that time. But yeah, she then opens her mouth in 2018. And all the excitement I had for the movie went out the window. She started saying things that were very divisive. She claimed she was trying to unify people. Let's get something straight. If you want to unify people, you don't use labels. When you say things like, I don't want my press bracket or press tour being overly white men, that's not unifying people. That's exclusionary. That's divisive. And unfortunately, that's also what people say nowadays. It's annoying, it's foolish, and frankly, it's ridiculous as well. Then she basically did a walk back. I'm not taking chairs away from the table, I'm adding chairs to the table of her press tour, basically. And, okay, but then other things came out, where she was at an award ceremony saying, I don't care what some 40-year-old white guy has to say about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I care about the younger mixed or biracial people and yada yada yada. Well, that's all well and good, but you just, basically your walk back is now invalid. And the whole feminist thing on her Twitter about being a woman today is a life on the defensive. That's a bunch of bullshit. Then she also talked about gender inequality, or pay equality, or whatever. And people pointed out her BS on that. She got $5 million for her movie. Her first movie. Robert Downey Jr. got $500,000. That's 10 times less than what Brie Larson got. Chadwick Boseman from Black Panther. When he did Black Panther, he only got $2 million. Brie Larson, yeah, there is a inequality pay, but it's not for women, or it's not against women, it's for women. Now, then she basically pressured Marvel into saying, I want to make it a pro-feminist movie. And Marvel did try telling them, I guess, that we don't really like activism in our movies because it might alienate some people. And so she threatened to walk, I think. This is my theory in this case. And, well, they didn't want her to walk, so they caved. Like children, under pressure, they will cave. And they realized they had a problem. We're going to allow this. There's going to be controversy. We're going to have to take precautions. We'll protect her. Well, the thing is, guys, you protected something that is morally wrong to do. You went divisive. You allowed a movie to be made that was divisive. Just like 2016 Ghostbusters. The men in that movie of Captain Marvel were displayed and portrayed, rather, as either an asshole, an idiot, or otherwise. It was strictly for female empowerment. I have no problem if you are pushing a female empowerment story. Just don't push it too much. This movie did that. So she basically does that. There are tropes in the movie that were unnecessary. Subtle tropes even. It's called a cockpit for a reason. When she goes up to the guy when she first lands on Earth, walks out of the blockbuster, she blows Arnold Schwarzenegger's head off from a True Lies poster, or cardboard cutout rather. She goes up to the security guy parked outside, and it says, what a man, or it has the song, What a Man, I can't remember the artist's name, playing, and he's chowing up, or he's chowing down on a meatball sub or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm not going to see the movie again in theaters. I only saw it once to basically get my thoughts on it for myself. I make my own opinions. I don't go in thinking what other people say about it. I go into a movie scene to get my own opinion on it. But, anyway, the guy comes across as a real dumbass. And I'm sorry for all the swearing, it's just the kind of person I am. I don't swear too much, I just swear a fair bit. But anyway, yeah, then she starts being very, well, rude to Nick Fury, to Coulson and them. And she chops him down pretty much almost any chance she gets. She is riding a high horse that is pretty ridiculous. And the movie is basically a message or an allegory as well. It's a political allegory. Let's be honest, it's a political allegory of the whole immigration issue in the United States right now. The Kree are the big bad Trump administration in their eyes, and the Skrulls, who were the bad guys in comics and whatnot, like genuinely all the time bad guys in comics, were turned into immigrants trying to find a way or a new home, and they're peaceful and whatnot. It's ridiculous, very much. And then there's also the Marvel controversy. Because I like Stan Lee, I like that guy a lot. He did a great thing when he created Marvel Comics, and, well, he didn't create Marvel Comics. He did a great thing when he created Spider-Man, the original Captain Marvel, in the Marvel Universe, and other characters, the X-Men, and way more. Marvel in the comics was a man. They do a tribute to Stan Lee in the beginning of this movie, and then they turn Marvel into Annette Bening, a woman. I am not sexist in any way. They did the Ancient One in Doctor Strange as a woman. The thing is, Tilda Swinton sold it. She did a very good job. But Annette Bening being Marvel, in my eyes, there's certain things that you shouldn't do. And taking one of Stan Lee's personal creations and doing a gender flop for political statements is not one of them. You do not do that kind of thing. So yeah, the MCU, as far as I'm concerned, they're turning it into a woke nation. After Endgame, I will pay attention to the MCU movies to see if there are any underlying political or identity politics. I absolutely hate identity politics in my movies. If they have identity politics in the movie, cutting it out. I'm cutting the movies out of my life. I'm not even going to watch them. I don't want that crap going on in movies. I go to the movies, like I said in the beginning of the video, to escape all the real world crap that goes on. So yeah. Now they had to parade Brie Larson, and they had to defend her. They just harassed a dude on YouTube so bad, Brie Larson and Netflix, that he locked his account. He only had 300 followers, and yet Netflix and Brie Larson saw fit to go after the dude just because he said that her Unicorn Store movie was terrible. Or, not terrible, but the trailer was meh, and he said that it was riding Captain Marvel's wave. The movie came out 2 years ago, and wasn't that good, or whatever, and now they're promoting it to promote Brie Larson even more. She's protected because they knew that Marvel knew that they had a controversial thing going on, and now that they've started protecting her, they can't stop. Because then it would send the whole woke crowd after them. And they'll even lose even more. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this whole thing. I really hope, I pray to God, or to whatever higher power may be listening, that the Marvel Universe, cinematic universe, does not go woke after Endgame, but with the way it looks, that's what's going to happen. So that's my video, guys. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you all on the next one. I don't know when I'll upload next. Probably if another movie that excites me comes out and whatnot. So, yeah. Take it easy, y'all.